All right, it's a very, very cold morning here in the studio, and we welcome you once again if you've just tuned in. It's Good Morning Nigeria, and newspaper review will be coming up next.
Demo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's still fairly cold.
It is in here.
It is, yeah, it's the air conditioning. But out there, I think it's still fairly cold. Although I'm suppressing fever. I'm taking the drugs yesterday. Yeah, hello, Claire. How are you?
Hello, Tuxford.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You look resplendent, as usual.
Okay, let me quickly tee off, as they say in golf. I hope that's correct. Let's start off with the leadership. Now, leadership has its strong stories in the front page. Matawale denies links with bandits, demands proof. That story is on page 4. Blame Buhari for current economic hardship. This is attributed to CBN. Details of that on page 4. And the writers are, says Tinubu inherited battered economy. We are battling with repercussions of 35 trillion naira ways and means. And stakeholders raise concern over 27.25% interest rate. And of course, we see it's time to act for early years. And this picture story is showcasing First Lady, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, with other African First Ladies and participants to the high-level dinner hosted by Organization of African First Ladies for Development of LAD and their world on the sidelines of the ongoing 79th UNGA in New York on Sunday. It's time to act for early years. That's the words coming from our First Ladies. And just inside there, below the nameplate, Tinubu seeks permanent UN Security Council seat for Nigeria and Africa. That's at UNGA 79. And there are other stories trending on this front page. But let me quickly look at the story above the nameplate. FG to launch new school curriculum next month. FG to launch new school curriculum next month. Details of that on page 8. APC tackles Yaga Africa over Edo poll report. It's on page 18. And 86 million Nigerians living in multidimensional poverty. Another multidimensional poverty report is coming up again. But this time, this is ActionAid. 86 million Nigerians. The last time, I think it was over 100 and something million Nigerians. So if this is 86, and we're seeing a reduction, but Chukwudi will probably speak to that much later. Blueprint is next, and experts differ as CBN raises lending rate to 27.25%. The blueprint, experts differ as CBN raises lending rate to 27.25%. Decision will address major forex inflation threats. That's coming from Professor Uche Waleke. And no, it has tendency to slow down investment. That's again coming from Muda Yusuf. These are two financial experts, of course, having different opinion as expected. Drama as Justice Nyako withdraws from Nnamdi Kalu's trial. It's also there trending on page 6. And there are other stories now. Oh, okay. I think I just stop at this and hand over to Ademola Adeoye.
Thank you, Claire. I have the Daily Trust newspaper with me, and below the nameplate we have Zamfara. Lawal Matawale's feud gets messier. Details on page 10. Against expectation, CBN raises interest rate to 27.25%. Details of that story can be found on page 7 or on page 19. Tinubu seeks UN permanent seat. Debt forgiveness for Nigeria orders. Details of that story can be found on page 6. And the major headline reads, Army discharges female soldier who accused officer of sexual advances, cites mental challenge, exonerates colonel of allegation, Women Affairs Ministry silent on the issue. And the details of that story can be found on page 4. Nigerians grappling with hardship, Akpabio. That is, that story also can be found on page 4. Then we have Akures goes to sleep as monarch begins leave. And the EFCC probes own staff over 15 million bribery allegation. Chooks.
Hello. The question I asked is, what are the indications that Matawale actually did things to suggest that he had links with bandits? Could it be just, fisticuffs between him and Lawal? Is there any fire in the smoke some people tend to see? The allegations that somebody is affiliated to insurgents or bandits, are weighty allegations. And it is only proper that since the matter would not go away, a proper investigation should be carried out to know the veracity or otherwise of the allegation. I think that's what we can say at this point. But not necessarily linking this to Matawale. I am one of those who feel that insurgency in this country continues because some persons in high places know something but are not saying something. Maybe they're even doing something that might not be in the national interest. But then, speculation does have its limits. You don't even want to engage in it at all.
It's better.
But if we remember that Danjuma told the CDS just a few days ago, no more excuses. End banditry now.
Do something about it.
The impression you have is that Danjuma knows something we do not know. And of course, being a military man himself, he's only retired, he's still a military man by mentality.
A general.
He knows that there are ways we can handle this matter and it dies a natural death.
Chuku, the issue is that the burden of proof is always on the accuser.
Oh, sure.
So, with regards to the issue between Matawale and Lawa, I
Lawal.
think the onus.
You remember that man? Instead of owners, the man, we are not divulging, told us it was the anus rests on you. Claire, your mischief will never beat a retreat.
Anyway, and just as before we move away from the issue of insurgency and terrorism, there's a breaking news coming in, from our news report now from Gusau, and we hear that troops have eliminated another notorious terrorist kingpin, Kachala Makore, in Zamfara State. Again, breaking news from Zamfara. From Gusau, troops eliminate another notorious terrorist kingpin, Kachala Makore, in Zamfara State.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, actually, it was in the papers yesterday, but maybe NTA would not rush into such without verification. So to us, it's new information. You don't speculate again. That's a good one.
Yes, this army discharges female soldier who accused officer of sexual advances. Chooks, you heard about the story?
Yeah, I read up the bit, but remember there are riders to that. They are saying that the lady's mental health is in doubt, and that actually it exonerated the colonel who's been alleged to have done something to the lady. But then his advances they talked about, I am a bit excited and interested, because if it's only advances, there's not a case of, somebody going further. I want to say that this is interesting, because in Africa here, the woman is taken so much for granted that even advances are not considered to be anything untoward. It is here in Nigeria you meet somebody just cuddle a lady in public around the waistline, and she's smiling instead of slapping him. right there in public. An American woman would say, don't paw me, don't touch me. You know?
No, we don't do that in this climb. We don't.
We don't do what?
We don't slap people. We're not aggressive that way.
Yet
It's our culture.
you'd allow them to touch you anyhow in public?
No, we don't touch anyhow.
Really?
I don't think it's right. No, I don't think you're correct.
You're seeing something different from what I
Maybe
different to
what
what
you are
I
saying
see.
is different from what
Yeah.
I say, but we don't just.
Claire is
Claire, do they call you?
is so
do I just
silent.
call you anyhow?
Please, gentlemen, can we move?
This is an important issue.
Yes, it is an
No, your
important
editorial
issue.
judgment is different from
No,
ours.
no. It is an important issue, but
Yeah.
both of you are trivializing it. And because the Ministry of Women Affairs,
Yes.
according to one of the papers,
They are
says
silent
they are
about it,
silent
anyway.
about it.
Why are they
Yes,
silent?
so-
Because
so,
no,
but
the
we-
silence
we-
is
we-
news
we-
to us.
We do not know the context of the sexual
Allegation.
harassment. Yes, allegation. We did not know the context. So if we know the context, and indeed, who is to prove the mental alertness or mental fitness of the lady?
More and more issues you're
know,
raising now. Can you see it's a
actually,
big
it was
issue?
stated. It was stated
Yes.
that she
Yeah.
was in the hospital, the psychiatric hospital. Actually, she's been there. And what this statement said is that the investigation was conducted in line with established protocol,
Yes.
with every effort made to ensure a fair and impartial process. Then he concluded that the findings were definitive, and based on objective evaluation, available information.
No, but the fact that
the
they
lady
had
has been in the hospital.
Wait, the fact that
for
the lady,
treatment.
the fact that the lady is receiving treatment for a condition, does it negate, the action that action did not take place?
They've carried out the investigation.
Is there a correlation?
That's what needs to. You said
Exactly.
we should know the context.
Context.
A little better.
Exactly.
So we do not speculate on the matter.
Exactly.
But I'm interested that in Africa, ladies are speaking up about advances,
Of
and
course.
I like it.
Of course.
I like it.
Of course.
We take women for granted
Yes.
a lot on the
Yes.
continent.
And our first lady, frowns at anything that has to do with sexual, harassment. In
That's a good
fact,
one.
not just sexual harassment, gender-based
Discrimination,
violence. Yes, generally. So I think let's leave that matter, and then the issue again I would like us to look at is I'm almost forgetting that. It's of course the issue of the CBN's allegation or the CBN's remarks about the economic hardship and why it's been difficult to address the issue. And I was trying to go through the to find out, and the CBN is raising some issues. The CBN said that the current administration came into a very loose money supply situation, and it gives instances. In 2015, Chukwudi,
Yes.
it says money supply was about 19 trillion.
Yes.
And in 2023, it was 54 trillion.
Yes.
And then according to, this same Mr. Cardoso, the printing of 35 trillion naira resulted in a huge amount of money in circulation, which translated to too much money chasing same amount of goods. So that's why, we're
You
having...
actually said they are battling with the repercussions of 35 trillion naira
Yes.
ways and means.
Ways and means.
So that's on the high side. But you see, something I need to say to government is that there are certain things we don't want to hear. APC took over from APC. So it is their matter.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And that's
That's
the
it.
reason.
It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Let them
Jokes.
handle their baggage.
Thank you for that. So on that note, we draw the curtain.
We've been asked to...
We need to...
We've been asked
The
to...
director is signaling that we should take a break now. Thanks, Chooks, for
Thank
coming
you. Thanks
on
a lot.
Good Morning Nigeria today. We'll see you tomorrow, I hope. All right, we'll take a break now. Good Morning Nigeria continues. Stay with us.